Anxiety. Let's go ahead and move on to here. So when you might feel anxious when faced with a problem at work before taking a test or making an important decision, but anxiety disorders involve more than temporary worry or fear. For a person with an anxiety disorder, the anxiety does not go away and can get worse over time. The feelings can interfere with daily activities such as job performance, schoolwork, and relationships. There are several different types of anxiety disorders. This is an umbrella term for generalized anxiety disorder, panic attacks, social anxiety disorder, and on a spectrum, you can even go into PTSD as a form of anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder. So, case supervisor, what's the diagnosis here? What's the deal?
You have miswithholds.
Okay, and what does that mean?
That means that you have committed harmful acts and people around you are stimulating them. They're triggering them everywhere you go. So somebody, you have social anxiety disorder, panic disorder, generalized anxiety. All of them would fit, and they would be, you would say, consider that these things are stimulated in certain environments, or they're stimulated in every environment. And as long as you have to, for as many hours as you need to, you just pull them and pull them and pull them and pull them until he stops feeling that anxiety. And this is
security checking we're talking about now.
Security checking, yes.
Yeah, okay, so this is the thing most people have heard about, where you're sitting down with the e-meter, again, in a room, and the auditor is asking you questions, very direct questions about things you might have done that could be immoral, unethical, or that you feel bad about for whatever reason. Have you stolen things from your job? Have you cheated on your wife or your husband? Have you beat your kids? Have you masturbated? It could be a range of things across the person's life that might be asked about in order to get him to unburden himself.
Yes. And in that case, as a general rule, it would not be your investigative type sec checking, the kind that you hear about where, they're looking for something on you. It's not really that kind of dogged policing. It's more, let's get to unburden the person, unload them. But we're not chasing them.
It's not like there's going to be reports written on this.
Exactly.
The person's then going to have to go talk to the ethics officer and, pay thousands of dollars in amends and all this kind of nonsense. That's the more punitive side of sec checking. That's not the style that's being done here.
Right. Unless, for example, you're a registrar and you're in charge of making money for the organization and you have anxiety disorders, your sec checking will be, because I think Regis get more counseling sessions than any other Sea Org member ever, because their job is considered the most important because they're making the money.
Right.
And so it's very common that when you have a registrar who is not doing well or I've seen quite a few of them with anxiety disorders who end up in sec checking. You do a sec check session on them, and the next thing you know, people are yelling at them you make some more money, or you go right back in there. That's how that's how it goes. So it depends on what your position is in Scientology. But as a general rule, somebody came in anxiety disorder, you would still do those basic rudiments I was talking about, but they might be steered more towards trying to find miswithholds on them without saying that's what you're doing. They'll do it in a light, you want to call it covert fashion, but on those lower levels, you got to get them in. And when they got that fixed dedicated glare, then you can really,
then you can really
dive in.
Yeah, exactly. Go deep.
Yeah.
And again, interesting how it's always the person. It's on the person. It's not that they are stressing or feeling long-term anxiety because they're in a situation of long-term, forceful stress on them to make quotas that are impossible, to stay up all night, having to make money because they're not hitting their quotas. That has nothing to do with why they have anxiety.
That's right.
It doesn't even enter, the head of the person, like the case supervisor. Oh, well, maybe I should get this guy's senior office back. Maybe we should get this guy a vacation or something. No, nothing like that.
No.
No. In fact, Hubbard actually specifically says in Scientology materials that a Thetan, a spiritual entity, should be able to do anything indefinitely.
That's right.
There shouldn't be any problem with pounding rocks all day, every day for 1,000 years. Shouldn't bug you. So with that kind of thinking, having heavy demands by 5 people standing over you all day, where's money, where's money, where's money?
It's nothing.
That's not a cause of stress. It's what they think,
Yeah.